Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Reiner.
Now, I really don't know if you're pleased to have me out here or not. There is no way of telling. Now, that's true, because Bob Rosengarten and the voice of Fred Foy, who once announced the Lone Ranger, you'll believe anything he says, and they say, "Here he is, Carl Reiner," and he goes, boom, 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 boom. If they dropped a handkerchief with that introduction, you might applaud. I would like to see what honest... Is there an applause sign here, by the way? Did you have an applause sign on? Yeah. There is an applause sign. All right. I would like to find out what I truly am to you. Fred, without using your professional voice, let me hear the voice you say, hello. Can he hear me? Can Fred hear me? Fred, are you on a microphone? Fred? All right, let's do this. Marshall, would you come out here, Marshall? It's going to cost no money. Or give him a microphone. Or just give him a mic. Is Fred here? He's okay. Fred, listen to me.
Hello?
Yes, good. Without using that fake voice that you use. Really. The Lone Ranger. Without putting that extra glottal thing in that you do. Talk as if you would if your wife woke you up in the middle of the night and says, Fred, the kid's got to go to the toilet. I mean, that kind of voice, and say, and here he is, Carl Reiner, with that lack of enthusiasm, and without music, no music at all. And just do that, and do what you normally would do if you heard that. React that. I want to hear it. I'm going to come out again. Just without, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Fred.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Reiner.
Thank you. That I accept. I accept that. And there were a few boos, but there's a hiss. There's a few people who thought they were going to see Orson Welles. We had some cards, and, well, you're not going to see Orson Welles. What do you propose for New York City? This is a goodie.
Well, this isn't my proposal. This is the proposal of the editor of Showcase magazine, that they form a commission. New York City establishes a commission of prostitution, just like their commission of off-track betting. By doing this, they would have the income of all that. They would clean up the streets and keep people coming to New York and to the theaters and everything. Right now, they're afraid to because of the pimps and prostitutes and all the crime that's spreading around off-Broadway and Times Square. And by this, the city would have enough income from the prostitutes that they would be able to have money, so they wouldn't be taxing the taxpayers and giving everybody who earns money to pay it to New York, and they're finally moving out, and also make New York City a lot healthier.
Thank you, all you prostitution lovers. What is that applauding? No, that's very interesting. Have you had a bad experience? Is that? And you want the government to take care of it for you. I think we should go one step further about legalizing prostitution. I think we should, if we're interested in anything, we should be interested in how to make it possible for society to not need prostitution. We all should be involved in sex, not have somebody do it for us. Our guests tonight, I am pleased to announce to you, are Sarah Vaughan, Ralph Nader, Gloria Steinem, and Melvin Van Peebles. We'll be right back. You see, I thought we were going to be right back. And if I had known he was going to throw that, I wouldn't have a herniated thing here now. But let me get that straight now. Now watch what can happen when a beautiful girl experiments with a beautiful fragrance called Xanadu. My first guest tonight is a man who's been an inspiration to all of us because he's shown time after time that there is something that can be done about the manufacturer who sells us a rotten piece of equipment, or the local or state government which spends more time padding its budget than looking after its interests, our interests. They look after their interests, but not ours sometimes. I know he has a lot of important and interesting things to tell us tonight, so will you welcome, please, Mr. Ralph Nader. Someone to watch over me.
He does indeed.
He watches not over us.
For us.
For us. So you'll have to get another song. Ralph, no, I sincerely mean this. There are not many people in the world I look forward to meeting. When I was very young and they'd say, who do you want to meet in the world? There were about 100,000 people. When you're in show business long enough, you've met them all, and there's some disappointments. I hope you won't disappoint me, Ralph, because I really wanted to meet you. I really do. But before we get on to some of the things you've been doing and some of the important things you can tell us, there are certain personal questions I must ask you. Because when I see you, I say, what is he? Who is he? This is Ralph Nader, our Sir Lancelot, our King Arthur, the man on the charger.
What are you trying to do, Carl? Weaken me?
No, but I think certain things, like, for instance, I think if he is this good, why not have him as a president? Gore Vidal suggested it. I mean, if you put makeup on, you'd be handsome enough. He didn't put makeup on. One of the few guests I've seen without makeup.
It's a deceptive practice.
Deceptive practice. I'm wearing a toupee. What should I do? I'm in a different business, that's it. I saw you on this program not 2-3 weeks ago.
Yes, yeah.
And I felt that you were given short shrift.
Yes, well, we got into Treasure Hunt.
Yes, there was, no...
Oak Island, yeah,
yes,
it went on and on.
Gloria was on and she was bursting to say many things, what Women's Lib has accomplished in the last year, and there were two guys who were digging for a sunken treasure, and they had to find out where they found it. I mean, that was a cliffhanger. The Women's Lib thing will continue to grow, but that man was underwater.
But he didn't find anything.
He didn't find anything.
They spent $500,000, and
right.
he hasn't found anything.
You have all the time. This is your program, and there's no man coming in to go underwater. And Ralph Nader has to leave, but he says, I would like to hear Gloria. You didn't really say that, did you? Did you?
You just made that
No,
up.
no, he did. He said, I can stay. I'd like to stay. The Strato Lounger low back, twice the chair you think it is, in a style for every home. It's 5 times the chair I think it is, because I haven't been thinking about it. Gloria, I promised myself that you would have all the time you need, but Ralph was dying to comment on something you said. He asked me during the break whether he could take a moment of your time that was used before by an undersea diver. But Ralph Nader, I think we can trust. He won't take us undersea.
It's, 99% women, and a terribly important part of the
It's
movement.
nothing you've said, Gloria, but I got a note that, Ralph, will you get out of here? It's your time. He has to catch something and go someplace. I don't want you to think it's anything you said and that we don't want you, but get out. No, he really has to go someplace. And Dave Garroway called my next guest the Divine Sarah a long time ago, and the description was so accurate that it stuck. Would you welcome, please, the Divine Sarah Vaughan. Did you notice for half the song, just the pianist was making 3 little sounds, and that lady was a whole orchestra by herself? Hey, Bob, isn't it worth being a musician when you have somebody like that to back? Isn't it?
She is the best.
I noticed the band enjoying themselves more than they did when they accompanied my tap dancing yesterday. Our local stations have a message and we'll return. Now, I had an R-rated picture. I've never been X-rated yet.
Oh, you make it. What was this? What was this?
Where's Papa? It was R.
Loved it.
You did?
Loved it. Loved it. Out of sight. Loved it.
Thank you.
Loved it. Loved it.
Those that loved it, loved it. Those that hated it keep sending me letters.
Hey, that's where it's
Somebody
at.
wrote to Dear Abby and told them how much they hated my picture, and she sent me the letter. I'm not kidding. They wanted Dear Abby to do something about my picture. But,
Well,
but mine was...
you've got company.
Oh, no. I saw your picture.
Did you like it?
Very much. I didn't think I was going to. Because as I walked in, I must tell you this, that somebody who worked at the theater said, oh, Mr. Reiner, I shouldn't tell you this, they let me in for nothing. They recognized me. And they let me in for nothing. They said, I don't think you're going to like this, Mr. Reiner. They must have thought I only do the Dick Van Dyke Show. And I walked in, not because that lady who ran the theater, and I not only liked it, it's a memorable picture. I will not forget it. My wife saw it with me. Parts of the picture she couldn't take. I said, you can look up now, honey. She looked down and looked up.
Well, everybody is pretty much hung up on their image or how many lines of dialogue they have and so forth. And so, the bread wasn't that long either. And so,
the money wasn't very good for those all-white Americans who don't understand.
And so I did it myself.
Well, I could see that most stars, I think if you would ask me if I were black and you asked me to do the picture, of course I can't say what I would do if I were black. I might be a different person. I certainly wouldn't be bald, I know that. I would have that choice. I want to thank my guest tonight. And I'm going to say this, and it's going to hurt. the beautiful Gloria Steinem. I know you women's lib don't want to be considered beautiful. You want to be considered something else, but you're beautiful. Let's face it. The beautiful.
You have to say handsome now.
No, he's beautiful. I've seen all of him.
Okay.
The beautiful. All right. The beautiful Melvin Van Peebles, whose new picture, and I love saying this on the air because it's not very often you get to say Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song, which is playing in your local theater. Sarah Vaughan and Ralph Nader, who's fled. Thank you, and thank you for having me. I enjoyed myself.